My name is Dean Luethi, and I'm the author of Aligning Voices, Exercises to Build Choral Musicianship. I created this resource because I saw that there was a disconnect between the technical achievements that we were gaining in our warm-up routine when we did unison warm-ups to the application of those skills and those achievements into our repertoire, which was somewhat lacking. And I thought that perhaps it could be that the reason was that the texture wasn't necessarily the same. And so I took a look at creating resources in the texture more akin to the repertoire. So the exercises you'll see here are in SATB format, SSAA format, and TTBB format. Now, whereas you don't need to use all 4 parts, that texture is more akin to the repertoire, and we see the transference of those technical elements to the repertoire a little bit easier. It's not meant to replace the entire warm-up routine, but rather meant to supplement. The book is formatted like this. First of all, there's the introduction, and where I discuss the usefulness of this book to you and to your students. After that, there's a short rhythmic primer. Now, in this, we talk about quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, and the groupings of all of these together. We have both count symbols, 1-ienda, 2-ienda, as well as food rhythm. What I mean by that is instead of 16th notes, we could say watermelon. Or instead of 8th notes, we say hot dog, so on and so forth. Once they learn the food rhythms, you can switch on over to the count symbols. Or if they're already skillful in the count symbols, you just start there. Now, after the rhythmic primer, you're going to see that the chapters line up with our objectives, whether it be tone, brilliance, so on and so forth. Within each of the chapters, you're going to see the objective, the assessments, and then the particular exercises themselves. And the exercises are split into 3 different textures: SATB, TTBB, as well as SSAA. Now, if you have a TTB choir, you don't necessarily need to do all 4 parts. You can pick the 3 that are important. The objective or the technical aim is still the same and can be achieved with a thinner texture. One of the elements I wanted to incorporate into this resource was the idea of clear objectives, having a laser focus on one particular technical element. Now, the reason is, when we're working on these exercises, we could work on any number of technical elements, right? We could work on the pitch, we could work on the rhythm, the tone, the onset, the diction of it, the timbre, so on and so forth. There are so many elements that we could work on that it's imperative, if we are working on one particular technical skill, that we make sure that we focus on that. So each of these exercises, whereas you can use this to work on pitch, you can use this to work on breath energy, you can use this to do whatever you'd like. These exercises are built specifically for one technical skill. And so, at the beginning of each of these exercises or each of these chapters, you're going to see that there are objectives. I would explain these to your students, make sure that they have a laser focus as well on particular skills that you are hoping to gain through the use of these exercises. Every choir has standards when it comes to their choral performance. Now, that is, if the choir isn't performing with adequate diction, the choir director will say something and they'll prescribe a particular thing. They'll say, let's do this, or pay attention to this. So when I was writing this resource, I thought it only beneficial to do the same. What I mean by that is, I include assessment techniques as well as prescriptions for when you hear this particular thing. Perhaps you should ask your choir to do this. Or when you hear this particular thing, do this small little mini exercise to improve that. And it's all in the aim to achieve technically the particular objectives that are in the book. Remember, our excellence is only limited by our assessment abilities. And so by including those assessments, again, I think you'll find that your choir continually improves. I hope you find Aligning Voices, Exercises to Build Choral Musicianship a worthwhile tool in your choral classroom. If you have any questions or would like to contact me, please visit deanluethi.com.